everybody, it's time for some Sunday inspiration, and we're going to make something really cool today. But I've got down here some old book pages, put it down with my matte medium, and it is dry, and I'm working on an 8x10 MDF board. And I have chosen kind of a color palette that is kind of calming, I think. I've got to throw in maybe a little bit of red. But those are all Deco Art paints, and they're just regular craft paints. And then I have cut out some random flower patterns. Now, I used, all of those wonderful uh, plate prints that we have, thousands of, that can get out of control. I just cut out some random shapes. There was no rhyme or reason to how I cut things out. I just, whatever I could do. But I'm going to put those down with my matte medium. And but before I do that, I'm going to lay in my background. And I'm just going to be putting down with my palette knife some color. I'm going to start with my white, a titanium white, and just kind of lay in the color. And I am actually, as I'm laying in the color, I'm having some problems, some difficulties here with the paint cap. But once I get that paint out, I will be laying it down. But I go around, I try to see the numbers that are on there. I try to save some of those. I really want those to kind of poke through here and there. So I kind of go around them as I'm laying the paint down. Um, but I lay that down and I let it dry, and then I come back in with the other colors and I let those dry as well. Coming back in with some darker blue because I'm trying to add a little bit more dimension with my palette knife, just adding a little bit darker color there. Then I let that dry, and I took all of my shapes and I just ran them across my StazOn ink pad. Just ran it right across the pad just to kind of give it some shading and some further dimension. It just kind of separates the pieces from one from another. And then I just began putting them down like I normally do with my matte medium. So I'm going to begin to add some definition and some of the stems and that kind of thing. I'm using Crink paint stick, a Montana marker, and just a charcoal pencil. And right there, I'm using my Crink paint stick, and it is not a marker, it is a paint stick, and it is immediately permanent. It goes on like a crayon, which I love because it looks like charcoal, but once I put it down, it is down. It does not move. And I can work right on top of it without having to spray or anything. So I really like that. And I take my Montana marker, and this marker, it just goes over everything. I love it. But I'm adding some doodling on the stems and around the flowers, giving it some further dimension and just some fun funkiness. And then I'm going to go in and fill in the leaves with some doodling as well. And so it needed a little bit more jazz, pizzazz, wow. So I just grabbed some of that olive green from Deco Art, and I'm just dipping my finger in there and I'm just kind of smushing it and rubbing it and giving it some grass-like effects, just real random, nothing for sure. I added a little couple dabs into the leaves for just a little bit more color. And because I have to have my grungy style, I took my burnt umber and watered it down and just did a rub over the top of it, and just went back in again and again until I actually got the color that I wanted, leaving some areas darker and lighter. And so it needed a little bit more in the background. So I'm using my one of my prototypes for my stencils that I'm working on. And I'm just adding a few little things here and there to just, it's got to have that little something something. And I just went to some good old-fashioned bubble wrap. I haven't used bubble wrap in forever, but I love it. It makes me happy. And so then all that's dry, and now I'm just gonna start putting down my saying. And those stamps are they're a recollections stamp. They're from Michaels. I love them. It's a small cap and a large cap letter. But I just start putting in my saying with my stays on, and the saying is every flower must grow through dirt. Amen, sister, to that. Now I needed to add some additional shading and depth to make everything pop. I just went around everything and I added some of my little scribbles around the words and different things like that. And then down at the bottom, I added sign of tall grasses and things like that. Then I came back in with my crink, not my crink, but my Montana marker, and just added some additional doodles and grasses and circles and different things like that to just make it feel like it was finished. Then I got some Dr. Martin's ink and dropped a few Okay, my friends, I'm just shading the edges here, and we're going to call her good. I like her. She is a beauty. And I'm trying a new format with my videos, and let me know what you think of it with the voiceover and everything. Just trying to instruct and not maybe speed through the videos. I had a few comments, last few times about it going too fast. So I'm trying to, grow and learn. But what I do want to say is that this says every flower must grow through dirt, and life is hard sometimes. It really is. Sometimes it downright sucks, and things happen, and they're not our fault, and sometimes they are our fault. But through some of the really difficult times, I know in my own life I have gained the most valuable insight and wisdom. So hang in there, keep your chin up if things are tough, and you are stronger than you think, and beautiful things will happen in some of the darkest places. So I hope your Sunday is awesome, and I hope that you get rest, and I hope you always know you are loved. We'll talk to you soon.